Hello, I'm BXToyCat and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Minecraft 1.9. If you don't know, this is the next update coming out for Minecraft on the PC, and it will be coming out for some point later on consoles. That's why this is still relevant, and I figure if you do play any amount of PC, or if you're just curious as to what's happening in the far future, it would be cool to go through all of the features that were announced about 1.9, because before we had vague announcements about new dungeons, new mobs and stuff, but today, at Minecon, we saw our first tiny bit of gameplay and actually some screenshots of all this stuff, and you can see lots and lots of cool things that you might enjoy. So it involves new mobs, new arrows, new buildings, and a new kind of end. I think it'd be pretty cool, so please do like the video if you do like it. It helps out the channel a lot, and let me know you do like it. So let's get started, shall we? And let's start with one that we kind of knew before, but now we know how it works, and that is going to be the new arrows. So basically they have shown us 3 of the new arrows so far, which I think is pretty cool, and that includes the spectral arrow. So the spectral arrow, when you fire it at something, it gives it an outline. It's honestly, it's kind of like an FPS game when you use like Recon Pro and like Modern Warfare 3 or something like that. Basically it gives you an outline, and this works on mobs and players, it looks like, although it was mostly useful on players. So yeah, as you can see in the screenshot, they can see those presumably zombies or players behind that wall. It's pretty cool. Next up we have the invisibility arrow. So what this does is it makes anything you hit invisible, which honestly this seems like more of a buff than anything else, because having something be invisible means you can't see it, but maybe it is meant to be, you know, fired at your teammates to help them out, kind of like a really far distance splash potion. I don't get it so far, but I bet it will have more uses. And then there's the poison arrow, which is of course the most deadly of arrows. I presume you put a poison potion with an arrow to make these. These are very, very, very terrifying, because arrows do enough damage as it is, let alone if they take you down to half a heart and then you're dead to any, hit from anyone. That's a scary concept, so we'll have to see how these balance out. There is different levels of these. I have seen the creative menu. There's different strengths of poison arrow, and that's actually kind of how I guessed it. It's pretty cool. And then finally, speaking of poison and stuff, here is a image of the new potion effects. Now, instead of having to open your inventory like you do on the console on the PC, you'll just be able to see them in the top right of your screen. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, something I didn't point out, even though it's in all these screenshots, the offhand slot is now to the left of the hotbar. You see it in these screenshots just here, and you can see it's pretty fine in that way. But anyway, let's show you some other stuff. So we're going to move into the end so I can show you the shields. So here you can see this is our first screenshot of a shield. It's just they can be combined banners, so you can see that's what they've done here. And it's a pretty good way to protect yourself. You can actually hold 2 shields at once and kind of go the right shield thing. I think that's pretty cool. And also, while we're in the end, let's talk about the biggest change, which is now they've made the end much more expansive. They've given it more purpose. And here is the Ender Gateway. So when you defeat the end, you can go into an the End Dragon. You can go into these Ender Gateways, which takes you from different islands. These different islands can be more and more challenging and involve things like the Ender City dungeons, which you can see here, and chorus plants. So these chorus plants, I assume they hurt you in some way because of how much they remind me of cactuses, but either way, if you do break them, you do get chorus fruit, which I don't know if it's a good food or not. We haven't seen it properly in action, but I assume it will give you some form of stats effect and maybe be good in return, or maybe it's just something to keep you alive if you really need to do it. I'm not entirely sure, but they do break, these blocks do break like cactuses, as in they break from the bottom to the top, so something worth pointing out. Either way, let's also show you the the Ender City dungeon and some of the cool stuff you'll see there. So here's a little close-up. You can see the textures are really cool. It reminds me a lot of the Nether brick texture, but it's got kind of an endy feel to it, which maybe that's what they're going for, because they've got the stronghold for the overworld, they've got the Nether dungeon, the Nether, whatever, the Nether stronghold, the Nether fortress in the Nether. I don't know how long that took me to think that, but yeah, there's that. And now we're going to have the Ender City dungeon. So yeah, these things are pretty cool, and they contain the new mob, which is the shulker. So this thing confuses me a lot, but it can hide as a block. So here's what it looks like in block form. As you can see, it doesn't look like a mob, but it can pop out of that block, and it can like basically turn into a projectile and just fly around the place. It's crazy how this thing works. I don't understand it, to be honest, but I know it's going to be scary. A lot of people have been pointing out that it's going to be dangerous, and that's good. The end needs a nice dangerous mob, because the Enderman and the Ender Dragon just aren't cutting it. So finally, the last thing I guess I'll show you today is one of the new potions they're adding. So basically you'll be able to actually drink a potion, and it's going to be called the Levitation Potion. What this does is just make you float in the air. I can imagine like using this in splash form and other players will be dangerous, because as soon as you run out, you're full. But I guess in the end, where they're showing it, this could be used to just get you up to a high place. I don't know yet, but it's kind of like flying in survival, but with limited capacity. I think that's always good, and that's why I think that's cool. So yeah, these are all the 1.9 features we've seen so far, or at least the really cool ones in my opinion. Let me know what you think is your favorite in the comments down below. I hope you didn't just video. I did kind of skim over all of these things, but when we know more about them and when we see a snapshot, I'll let you know more, because I know lots of you are excited about Minecraft 1.9, and I'm just curious what you think. So yeah, let me know what your favorite thing is down below, and let me know if you want to see more Minecraft 1.9 news, because I can happily oblige. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.